Today we are looking at the Manjaro Linux. So here is the latest version of the Manjaro Linux. So I'm going to put it in the live boot. So this is just the testing update, which is 24.1.2. And you already know Manjaro Linux is based on Arch Linux, and about the desktop environment, you have a lot of desktop environments available. So right now you can see the logo Manjaro Linux. It's going to take a few more seconds. So I think it's going to boot up in a minute right now. And I choose the GNOME desktop environment right now. So there is also XFCE KDE Plasma, but I choose the GNOME desktop environment. So this is like a testing update. I'm going to show you the kernel versions, features, and every changes in this specific version. There are like a few changes like application updates and also some audio graphics information. So I'm going to give you all the information that. And I'm going to be posting daily. So if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. I've been doing like almost like a 5 to 6 years now. So if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. And if you loved the video, give that thumbs up button. So it will help my channel also. So here you can see the mouse pointer. So it's going to take a few more seconds and you should be seeing the desktop layout completely loaded. So if you want to try it on the low-end PC, you can try it on the low-end PC by choosing the XFCE desktop environment. Don't choose the GNOME because GNOME desktop environment will consume a bit more resources when compared to the XFCE. And also same as well with the KDE Plasma, it's going to consume a bit more. And here is our welcome screen. So it took almost like a minute and 15 seconds like that. So it was very quick, and also the user experience will be completely different when compared to the bare metal. So when you install it on the bare metal, it's going to be performing way better, with the user experience will be also better when compared to the virtual machines. So in the VMware, some distros will have some issues like a minor lags here and there, but in the Virtualbox you don't see any type of issues, so it will be working properly. So it's my point of view, or it's my perspective. This is how it's going to work in my PC. So it will be completely different and the opinions will be completely different. So that's the reason I'm mentioning it already. So here you should be seeing the version of 24.1.2 Xahea. So I don't know how it's pronounced, Xahea or Xahea, whatever it is. So this is the code name. So I'm going to change the display resolution first. So it automatically changes in the VMware. So that's the good part here. And about the release notes, I'm going to show you all the release notes. So I'm just going to close everything. So here is the welcome screen information, or you can call it like a Manjaro Hello version 0.7.2. So if you are using the older version, you should be seeing all the changes right away. So the main operating system of mine, my operating system is completely different. So I don't use Manjaro Linux. So that's the reason I don't see any changes. But I'm going to show you all the release notes first. So before that, let's check the system monitor. Let me find the system monitor to see how the RAM and CPU consumption is going. So let me open the system monitor. So I think you should be getting the latest version of the desktop environment. I'm going to show you all the about system information in a few seconds. So these are all the process you should be seeing as soon as it's booted up. And about the resources, here is the resources. It's consuming like a 1.5 GB already. And in order to see the CPU, whether it's stable or not, you need to run like a 60 seconds or a minute box. So this is a minute box or a 60 seconds box. So if you see all the graph stable, then it's a stable, then you can use it for the update if you want. So always get all the information if it's working properly or have any bugs. Usually you don't see any bugs in the Manjaro Linux. So it's my point of view, it will be a bit different for you. It should be having some issues in your PC, but I never had some issues like that. So it's always a good option if you have like a low-end PC. I'm going to show you the system requirements of the Manjaro Linux, and if you want to try the latest version, you can try it in the low-end PC as well. So this is a testing update, so keep that in mind also. So I'm going to show you all the information. So it's almost like a 60 seconds time. So it's pretty much stable. The RAM is almost 1.5 GB. So when you go with the XFCE, the RAM will be around like a 900 MB in the virtual machine. But in the bare metal, when you install it on the bare metal or in the PC, it's going to be a bit lesser than what you're using or what you are seeing in the virtual machines. So if you're using the XFCE, if it says like a 900 MB, the difference will be in the bare metal like a 300-400 MB maximum difference. So that's the difference you should be seeing. and also there will be no lag when you install it. So Manjaro Linux is also Arch Linux based distro, and also it's a well-known distribution, so you can easily trust Manjaro Linux. If you still have some issues, it's better to do all the research on your own, and if you're satisfied, then go with the installation, or else just skip the distribution and go with another distributions. So it's almost 60 seconds, so I'm going to keep the system monitor in the right side corner, so you can see throughout the changes throughout the video and decide everything on your own whether to use it or not. So let's first open the terminal, and I'm going to show you the release notes and also downloading process, everything after this one, because I want to show you all the important information about the distro first, like a NeoFetch, INX and everything. So we can go through other things later about. So here is the version 3.552.2 for GNOME 46. You get the GNOME 46 version. So let me even show you the settings information. Let's go to the settings. Let's see what version of desktop environment we have and other things like a hard disk, virtual disk, whatever it is. I'm going to show you everything. Let's go to the system and let's wait for few seconds, and about support or about information is right here. Let's make it bigger. So it says like a Manjaro GNOME, because I'm running it in the live boot, so that's the reason it's going to say as a Manjaro. If you have installed it in your PC, it's going to say your name or whatever the username you provided. About the system details, here is complete information. You get the GNOME 46, you already know the latest version is GNOME 47, and the windowing system you get the X11, and the OS build, it says like a rolling release, Manjaro Linux 7.7 GB. My CPU is i5 1240p, RAM is almost like a 8 GB but available is 77.7. My virtual disk is 60 GB, which I already mentioned, it says like a 64.4. So these are all the main important things, so we can go through other things. So let me try to type in NeoFetch. So before that, let me change the color so you can see everything properly. Let me change the theme like a GNOME Light Tango. Let's change to Linux console. So let me find the light color. So here we have the color. So let me try to type in like a NeoFetch. So NeoFetch is not pre-installed. Let's type in like a INXi-SV8. Hit enter. So INXi is pre-installed. So I'm going to install the NeoFetch after this. So let me first go through all the important things. So about the system, here is the system information. Host, it says like a Manjaro GNOME. I'm using the GNOME desktop environment of Manjaro Linux live boot. So it says like a Manjaro GNOME. Kernel version, you get the 6.10.13. I think this is like an end of life kernel right now. I'm going to go through all the things of Linux kernel when we open the website or the browser. So 64-bit, and compiler GCC version, you get the 14.2.1. and about the desktop environment, you get the GNOME 46.5. GTK version you get is a 3.24.43, and about the GDM version you get the 46.2. Distro, it's a Manjaro Linux based on Arch Linux. Here is the VMware information, which is clearly unnecessary for the video. About the RAM, 8 GB of RAM, available is 7.72 GB, used is 1.51 GB. So here is like other things which is clearly unnecessary. My CPU already mentioned for almost like a 2 times. Here is like a flags vulnerabilities, which is clearly unnecessary for the video. If anything is important for you, you can just pause the video and read everything on your own. You don't need to worry about anything. And keep an eye on the CPU and RAM throughout the video, so you can easily judge it on your own whether to use it or not. So graphics, let's go with the graphics information. VMWGFX version you get is a 2.20. And what else we have? Display, the X11. Xouch version is 1.21.1.14 with the XVLAN version 24.1.4. And what else we have here? My present display resolution. Here are all the available display resolutions. EGL version is 1.5. OpenGL version is 4.5. CompactV version is 4.3. Mesa version is 24.2.4. So these are all the changes you get in the latest version. And about the audio, let's go with the audio information. Here is the jack version 1.9.22. Here is the ELSA. and Pipewire version is 1.2.5. So here is like a network, Bluetooth, repos, partitions, USB, which is clearly unnecessary for the video. So info, process running right now 314, uptime 8 minutes, and what else we have? Wake up 0, init systemd version is 256, shell zsh version is 5.9, inxi version is 3.3.36. So I'm going to install the NeoFetch now. So here you can see I installed both the NeoFetch and FastFetch. So FastFetch, here you get the Manjaro Linux OS, host like a VMware, kernel version 6.10, the kernel 12 minutes. So uptime is 12 minutes, the Linux kernel is 6.10.13, packages 1213, pacman stable, shell zsh 5.9, display 1920x1080 with a 60 Hz, desktop environment, window manager, Mutter X11, window theme, and themes, icons, fonts, the cursor, terminal, terminal font, my CPU, the virtual disk, the memory, swap, and disk. So you got all the information right in front of you. So we got all the information from the terminal. Now let's close everything, and now let's go to the internet browser. Let me open the internet browser. So you get the Firefox web browser default in the Manjaro Linux. And I don't know what version we are getting, but the latest version right now is 132 or 133. So you can get all the information from the Firefox official website. So you should be getting all the latest information or the latest applications here. Let's open the About Firefox. So here is the version, you get the 131.0.3. It's still the latest version. So now I'm going to open all the important website like a official website, the Linux kernel website, and the system requirements, everything, and I'm going to continue. So here you can see the CPU and RAM. So 2.1 GB, and CPU is pretty much going upside here. So let me open all the important websites. So here I opened every important tabs, or you can call it like a website. So we can go through one by one. So about support, here is the, you just need to type in about ;support. And here you should be getting the version of the Firefox and some information about the distro and the browser, which I already showed you everything in the terminal itself. So the distribution ID, Manjaro, build ID, which is clearly unnecessary, user agent, the Linux kernel 6.10. Now let's go to the Linux kernel website. Just type in like a Linux kernel in the search engine, and the first link will be the official website. And here is the Linux kernel versions. So stable 6.10.14 or 6.10 is like a end of life. Here is the version. So here is the version you are getting, 6.10.13. It's just a point minus update here, or 0.1 more update here. But you basically get the 6.10, which is 6.10 is the end of life or the stable version right here, you can see. And about the stable and mainline long term, if you don't know the description of whatever it is called, you just need to click on the releases. And here you should be getting all the description of whatever it is said. Here is all the information. About the stable information, here is complete information about what is stable called and why it's stably Linux kernel is called like a stable. So here you can read the description. In order to get the kernel information, you just need to type in like a uname-r, uname-a, fastfetch, neofetch, inxi, inxi-sv8, or else you can use the browser, just type in about ;support, and you should be getting all the information. And that's some information. Here is like a long-term versions of end of life and everything. So just go to the website, or else you can just pause the video and read everything right here. So now let's close the Linux website. Now let's go with other things like a OS theme. Here is the theme, dark and light themes. And what else we have? The RAM, disk space available. Here is some browser information like a picture-in-picture and everything. So it's clearly unnecessary for video, so I'm just going to skip it. Here is like a Mesa and LLVM, every information right here. I already showed you the Mesa and every information in the terminal itself. So here is some additional things, which is like a window protocol, display environment, Mesa version, my monitor resolution, which I showed everything in the terminal itself. So these are all the information. Here is some important information. So if you consider something as important, you can just pause the video and read everything. So let's close this one also. Now let's go with the official website. So this is the official website of Manjaro Linux. Just type in like a manjaro.org, or else you can search with the Manjaro Linux as the search term. And the first link will be obviously the official website. So here is some set like a testing, unstable, base, Manjaro stable. So if you're a normal user, always go with the Manjaro stable. If you're like a distro hopper, if you're a Linux pro, if you're already using the Linux, go with the testing or unstable or base. So if you want to try to test it, here is all the options, enterprise grade, and about the downloads and about the news, here is the all the information of news and announcement. But the specific information will be available in the forum. So let me open the forum. So it's going to take a bit of time here. And about the system requirements, here you just need to type in like a Manjaro Linux system requirements, and you should be getting all the information right from the some websites, or else you can go with the forums and you should be getting all the information. So it says like a CPU 1 GHz processor, RAM 1 GB. So if you're using the XFCE, these are all the system requirements. But if you're using the GNOME or KDE Plasma, I'm going to say it's better to have like a 4 GB of RAM, 30-40 GB of a hard disk or a virtual disk. And about the monitor, 1920x1080. About the processor, dual core processor will be good. And about the monitor again, 1920x1080 is pretty much everyone is using right now. But if you have like a low-end PC or a laptop, you don't need to worry about anything. You can just go with the XFCE. You should be getting all the latest applications, but also you can run it on the low-end specs. So go with the XFCE if you want, if you have like a low-end PC or a laptop, and try it on your own. And do let me know in the comment section if it's having some lag or any crashes, or else it's going properly working or not. So it's clearly up to you. But if you're a normal user, always go with the stable version, because this is a testing update. So it's better to go with the stable version. In order to go to the stable version, you just need to click on the download, and here you should be getting the desktop environment. If you want the low-end desktop environment, or if you have like a low-end PC, go with the XFCE. If you want to try the KDE Plasma or the GNOME, go with whatever you want. But I'm going to show you the downloads. Here are the community images. You can hover over the download and you should be getting the version here in the bottom left corner. The community versions are 24.0.5 is the latest versions. As you can see, 3 community versions, which is Cinnamon, i3 Window Manager and Sway Window Manager. And about the XFCE, KDE Plasma and GNOME, the stable version right now is 24.1.1, but I'm using 24.1.2, which I already showed you in the beginning. So this is the testing update. Again, I'm saying it again and again, it's a testing update. So be careful before trying this distribution. Go with the stable version. If you're running the 24.1.1, you don't need to worry about anything. So choose the desktop environments. Here is like a more information. If you want the minimal, go with the minimal ISO file, or go with the full ISO file. It's clearly up to you. And if you want to download with the torrent, go with the torrent. If you want to download with the browser, just click on the image and it will download the latest or the stable version. But if you want the testing update, you just need to go with the SourceForge website. So you should be seeing 24.1.1. Now let me show you the SourceForge website. Just type in like a SourceForge. Hit enter. Click on the first link, or else you can use the sourceforge.net. Just type in like a Manjaro Linux, and the projects will be available right here. So it says business software and services. Here is the open source project. Just click on the Manjaro Linux, and here you should be getting all the description or whatever the information about the Manjaro Linux. And here is the all the activity of recent activities. Just go with the files, and here you choose whatever desktop environment you want, and dates will be available right here. Here is the July, and here is the June, July. He is right here. KDE is the latest November right here. You should be seeing the November month, and date will be right available right here in front of you. So the most downloaded is the XFCE, because everyone knows the XFCE will consume a bit lesser when compared to the GNOME and KDE. So I'm going to choose the XFCE. Choose the version. You should be seeing the latest version right here. Whatever the desktop environment you have, you just need to choose the desktop environment, and the first will be the latest version, 24.1.2. So this is the unstable version or the testing update. Here you should be getting all the ISO files. Just change the ISO file size and check the date right here, and also the kernels. You should be getting the 6.10, but if you want to go with the 6.1, you can go with the 6.1. Here is the minimal ISO files. So these are all the minimal ISO files, and this one is the full ISO file, which is Linux 6.10. So choose whatever you want, click on the download. It's going to take 5 seconds and it's going to create you a link, and you should be seeing the ISO file with the name 24.1.2 instead of 24.1.1. So here you should be seeing the version and the date. So you got all the information of downloading. Now let's close everything, and now let's go with the complete release notes information. Just go with the announcements, or else you can click here. Here you should be having like 4 options: unstable updates, releases, stable updates, and testing update. Right now we are using the testing update, so let me click on the testing updates, and here is some information of the release notes. So main changes: the kernels, Mesa version I already showed you, the browser version Firefox 132, you should be getting the Firefox 132, Thunderbird you get the 128.4.0, and here is some other information like a pamac and everything. LibreOffice you should be getting the 24.2.7, and also the Pipewire 1.2.6. So here are all the information. And NVIDIA drivers downgrade, Python 3.12 information, info about all packages, everything is right here. So these are all the changes you should be seeing from the specific version, which is 24.1.2. Here is the date and every information right in front of you. So I think I showed every important information here. So I'm going to show you the installation application. So there is no change in the installation application or the installer. So you should be saying same thing. The code name again, Manjaro Linux 24.1.2, Xahea or Xahea, whatever you want to call it. And here is the same installation steps. You just see some Office suite. Other than that, you don't see anything different here. You should be seeing same installation steps in throughout all the Linux distro. So there is nothing complicated here in the installation. So that's the reason I'm showing just the basic thing here. Keyboard, choose your keyboard. If anything is wrong, choose the specific keyboard, choose the variant, and choose the language and all those things. If you want to test your keyboard, you can test your keyboard. Click on next if you want to go with the single boot, if you want to go with the dual boot. If you want to encrypt your system, you can encrypt your system. Here is the bootloader location. Here is the drive wherever you want to install. So if you don't know how to install the Linux distro, it's better to watch some tutorials and you should be good with the installation. Just this part, because everything is same other than this thing. Just watch this part specifically if you don't know how to install it. So when you click on next, here is the user account creation. And after that, you should be getting the Office suite. One will be the LibreOffice and other will be the Office suite of only Office or something like that. And that's it. About the summary will be whatever you choose in the installation here. The summary will be same. And the installation will take like 15 to 20 minutes, depends on your PC. If you have like a high-end PC, it should be very quick. If you have like a low-end PC or the recommended requirements, it's going to be a bit lesser. So it completely plus more time there. About the package manager, let me open the package manager now. And about the desktop features, everything is same. Nightlight or dark style, it's clearly up to you to choose. So usually prefer the dark style or like a night style. If you want, whatever you want to choose, you can choose it. So here is the nightlight, and here are all the updates or the applications, whatever you want to install. The Firefox 131.0.3 instead of 132, you get the 131.0.3. I don't know why. Maybe in the XFC you should be getting the 132. So that's the latest stable version, but you get the 131. In the release note it mentioned like a 132, but here you get the 131. And Blender, GIMP, whatever you want applications, you can directly install it from here. And about the installed applications, here are all the installed applications or the packages. So you should be seeing everything with the versions here. So I don't need to open all the applications and show you all the versions of the applications. So you can clearly slow down the video and you should be seeing all the versions of the packages and applications. So let me scroll it down until the Z alphabet or Z alphabet. So that's it. And about the updates, I don't think there will be no updates because this is the latest ISO file I just downloaded a few hours ago. So you don't see anything. About the pamac, you get the 11.7.2 version. So always check the release notes and get all the information. About the preference, here is the preference. I'm going to provide every information in the description about the release, so you don't need to worry about anything. But if you still want to read everything, you can read by pausing the video, or else you can just go to the Manjaro Linux website. I clearly showed you how to do all those things. So here is all the settings. If you want to customize, go through and check and customize according to your wish. And about the backgrounds, you don't get any changes in the background, just some application updates and just some kernel information. Other than that, it's not a major update or anything. And also it's not the stable update, it's just like a testing update. So keep that in mind. And about the wallpapers, you get the same wallpapers, there is nothing changed here. And about the network and everything is same. You already know the GNOME 46, there is literally no change here. Mouse and touchpad, I'm going to go with the natural. So I kept everything as a default. About the power, I kept everything as a default. Multitasking, appearance. So pretty much I kept everything as a default. I just installed the fast fetch and neo fetch. Other than that, I kept everything as default. So this is how it performed. This is how the resources are going. So I'm going to do a final thing, which is a stress test by opening a bunch of applications. So I'm just going to open some random applications. It's not the specific applications or anything like that. It will be specific, just I want to open a bit of resource consuming applications to see how the distro will perform when we open a few applications, whether it will take like a stress or it's going to crash or anything. So that's the main objective of this stress test. So I opened like a few applications which are good, like a bit of resource consuming. So what else we have? The same things like a tweaks and everything. So I think we are good. And now let's check the system monitor. So it's consuming like a 3.2 GB and cache is like a 3.7 GB. About the CPU, you should be seeing the high graph because we opened all the applications instantly instead of waiting for the specific applications. So I opened every application instantly. There will be a high graph because of that. So you just need to ignore that. After opening all the applications, if everything is opened, then there is no application is waiting in the background, then you should be seeing the graph of a CPU with a stable. So right now you should be seeing a stable graph because every application is opened. So let's wait for a few more seconds. And about the process, these are all the process running right now. So everything is running smooth, and also keep that in mind, I'm using 8 GB of RAM, my CPU is i5 1240p. So I have like a more than recommended requirement, so it should be running properly without issues. So let me try to switch the applications. Let's see if there is any lag or anything. As you can see, there is no lag because of we have good resources. So it should be completely different when you have like a low end PC or else like a minimum more lesser than like a recommended requirements. It should be completely different. So if you want to try it, you can try it. Again, this is a testing update. I'm saying it again and again because some people will skip the video, so they don't understand whether it's a stable or unstable. So that's the reason sometimes I need to repeat like a 3 to 4 times. And also there are a lot of old viewers who are like a 60 plus people trying to watch my videos. So that's the reason I need to also mention that thing again and again. So they have some slightly eye problems, so that's the reason I'm going to read most of the things in the terminals. So I want to satisfy most of the users. I'm trying, but I will try to satisfy most of the users, I guess. So this is how all the resources is running. This is how it's performed. So there is no issue in my opinion or in my perspective. So CPU went like this one. So I think I'm going to end the video right here. So before that, let's go through some changes or settings here, and I'm going to end the video. So here are some customization. If you want to customize, you can customize. I kept everything as default. I already said that. And about the application, you already saw the release notes, but I'm going to show you some about applications. You get the Nebula 128.4, the latest Thunderbird. Here is the about or the Calamares installation. I already showed you the about the Pacman. About the dynamic wallpaper, there is no change in the dynamic wallpaper. You get the same 0.1.0. About the browser, I already showed you the version also. And here is our like a text editor or the document viewer. Here is all the information about text editor. Here is the version 46.3. So this is how it performed, and it's clearly up to you. It's a testing update. If you want to try to test it, you can test it in the virtual machines. And other than that, I'll be posting videos daily. So if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. Most of the time I'll be posting 2 videos, but nowadays there is no topic like a I can't make a 2 videos because there is no Linux new release of any new Linux releases in the Linux market. So that's the reason I'm making a single video, or else most of the time I'll be making 2 videos. So if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. If you loved my content, then give the thumbs up button. It will help my channel, and also it will reach others also. So that's it, I think. Thanks for watching. And about the login credentials, let me show you the logout screen, and I'm going to end the video because I just want to show all the important things, and we can end the video. So it's going to take a few more seconds, and you should be seeing the login screen or logout screen. Usually there should be no password. You just need to click on the Manjaro and it should be logged in. So these are all the same things. So this is the login screen. XFCE desktop environment will be a bit different. So if you don't know that videos, you can watch my videos of older versions. You should be getting all the information. I think that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Peace out.